for ordering up some nice weather. It's getting cold in Oregon. I was just in Cambodia for 2.5 weeks, which is definitely the most hot, humid place I've ever been. And then I went back to Oregon and froze. So it's great to be here and enjoy this. Now, just a quick show of hands. How many of you played sports growing up? Awesome. So pretty much everyone. How many of you think it's different for your kids than it was for you? What's different? Travel. What else? They start younger. One sport, so the longer commitments, right? What else? Way more competitive, way more expensive. Private coaching. No seasons, right? There's just decades. Anything else? We kind of covered. What about the pressure?
The kids don't do it without adults.
Yeah, you guys kind of both said the same thing, right? There's no more free play. It's all organized. The pressure because of that, right? There's all this pressure on kids. Everything is judged. Everything is coached. Everything has an important outcome to it. And what about, and this is maybe a little harder to judge, but what about the pressure that we feel as parents? The pressure to keep up with the Joneses. The pressure that we feel, well, what if my son or my daughter doesn't only play one sport? What if we don't hire a private coach? What if we don't play year-round? Are they going to fall behind? Are they going to, am I letting them down? I think this is different. I asked my parents, they never felt anything like that. So, youth sports is really different now than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. And one of the big things that's happening right now is this. Because of this shift in environment, because there's not a lot of free play, 3 out of 4 kids are done with organized team sports by middle school. 3 out of 4 kids are walking away from sports, and I think this is such a shame that the sports have such an incredible positive impact on lives. Not only making people more active, but just all the lessons they can learn from sports. Businesses talk all the time about how they love to hire athletes because they know they know how to organize their time, and they have discipline. They have all these characteristics that they're looking for in some work. Leadership, work well with others. So sports are so important. So a couple of years ago, I was running a club in Bend, Oregon, where I live now, and I was watching my daughter play. She was 6 years old, and it was the 6-year-old block game, and the laughing and the giggling, and these incredible kids just trip on nothing and fall down and get trampled, and then they laugh and they get up and they can score an either goal. It doesn't matter. Everybody's excited, and it was this perfect sports experience. Well, right next door there's this competitive 10-year-old boys game, and I always say competitive in quotes because it wasn't the kids competing harder. It was the adults. It was the coaches, and it was the players. And I would say that when I was a kid, I'd say sports was about children competing against other children. And what I was watching that day was adults competing against other adults through their children. And that's the day that I decided, wow, something's wrong here. Number one, is anyone on my field thinking, man, that's what I want. 3 years, I want to pay more money and spend more time so my kid can have less fun. And then number 2, I was thinking, who's running this league where this madness is happening? And sadly, it was me. My league. And so that's when the Change the Game project started. And I decided to put pen and paper and write this book. I decided to put this degree, this master's degree in U.S. foreign policy and Holocaust studies to use by actually doing some research. and so that's how I wrote this book, and that's how I founded the Change the Game project. And it's just an amazing process because as I did this and I talked to some of the leading experts in parenting and coaching and sports science and athletic development, and I kept learning stuff and saying, why didn't anyone ever teach me this before? This would have been really helpful to know, when I was, picked up my kid from the hospital and they would just hand me this little baby, like, here you go, screw this up. Right? And as a coach, I coach